what do I need, not what do I need to do? I mean, that's kind of obvious, but I'm really not sure how to go about it. What would be the best way for me to pinpoint that keystone of what it is that I'm doing that's holding it back?
Well, that's the opposite of what you want to do, because the pinpoint is more specific. So you've already used your mind, your focused mind, your determined mind, your action-oriented mind to sort of dig in and nail your feet to the floor. So that is the opposite of what you want to do. So what you want to do is get more general, get more loose. You want to talk more about the laws than the specific application of them. You want to talk more about the momentum rather than the direction of where the momentum feels like it's taking you right now. In other words, we would begin by saying, I had a very strong desire, and because my desire was so strong that Abraham, who is not empathizing or sympathizing with my current state of vibration, was able to focus upon the power of my desire and pick me right out of the audience. In other words, that's what source is doing. In other words, your desire, you've been picked out, and everything that you want is lined up, and all the cooperative components are in place. You're just not being a cooperative component because you're like almost everybody else.
Yeah.
It's all right. You're fixated on the what isness, on the manifestation of it. If we could get you to break loose of the manifestation mattering and get you to focus upon the inner, for example, I could not feel this bad or this much emotion if there wasn't enormous momentum going, and I wouldn't feel this bad if I wasn't pulling in opposition to that incredible momentum. I'm going to do something about releasing my grip on all of this. I'm going to stop trying so hard. I'm going to stop trying to prove anything. I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm going to stop talking about it and blaming. I'm going to stop blaming about it, myself or anyone else. I'm going to stop pointing the blame at the scoundrels in the economic arena and the politicians who are insane. I'm going to stop pointing the blame at me of what I should have done differently, or what I haven't been able to figure out what to do, or at my lack of being able to figure it out. I'm going to accept that I couldn't feel like this if there wasn't huge momentum, and I get credit for the huge momentum. I get credit for the huge momentum. There's momentum. There's incredible momentum. I've just got to release and let the momentum take me where I belong. Jerry used to ask the question because he was a financial counselor with people for many years. And when he met us, he asked the question, Abraham, why is it that so many people have to hit the bottom before they start bouncing back? Because he said they always bounce back. But they have such pain as first the boat goes, and then the car goes, and then another car goes, and then the house goes. And why is it that they have to hit the absolute bottom before they immediately...
Well, they've got nothing left to resist.
You're like a punchline thief. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So here's the question that we have for you, smarty pants. Why do you have to hit the bottom before you let go? Why can't you already say there's nothing to lose because there's nothing to lose? Why can't you already acknowledge that the momentum is on your side and that the universe is working for you and that your vortex is full of all kinds of stuff and that your potential is magnificent?
Well,
Why can't you let go when there still is something to lose? Why can't you let go when there still is something to lose? Because in reality, there is nothing to lose. There is never anything to lose. There's nothing to lose because there's nothing to hold.
Confusion of putting the wrong energy in the equation
there's no
of
wrong
I
energy.
don't care.
There's no wrong... Say again? What do you mean?
There have been times where I've recently just tried to get myself to a place of, it'll be fine. I mean, so we don't do this house, and we just, we can sell it. We'll still make a little profit on it, and we'll just move on and regenerate our funds and go in another way. Just kind of making it okay that what I'm trying to desperately hold on to doesn't need to be there, that we'll be fine moving on. We can still be happy. And
does that soothe you when you do that?
Yeah, somewhat. But, if I am... Since I am... since I am source energy focused here in the physical world, and I get to create whatever the hell I want, this is what I want. And this is what I want now. And I want to be able to do it in a way that...
You can
Yes.
you can get so far with that. You can get
Well,
so
it's a
far.
start.
It is a start, but there is a leverage that comes with alignment. So when you soothe yourself by saying, what's the worst thing that could happen here? Wouldn't I like to discover what the universe can yield to me? You see what happens with so many of you? You haven't understood that there is energy. Just follow this scenario. We're just going to give your experience from our point of view. There is an energy stream that is so powerful you haven't begun to tap into it. And there is a vortex that you've created that you haven't even begun to scratch the surface of. But you have done really well in comparison with others who you move around with at deciding what you want and using willpower and determination and creativity and talent in order to garner for yourself a good life. We get that and acknowledge why it feels good to you. But that mindset can carry you so far. And you want to know about the leverage that creates worlds. You want to know about bigger energy. You want to play in a bigger game. You've come to understand more of that, you see. So what you've been doing took you so far. But what you are now learning and what you are wanting to do is really what you came to live about. So this experience that you're living is causing you to ask the bigger questions. In other words, there's so much more for you to receive. The human mindset is, I'll gather this talent, I'll offer this behavior, and I'll gather this stuff for myself and my family. And you compare yourselves on that basis. But it's a rare one of you that taps into the energy stream and goes with that bigger flow. And that's what you're beginning to taste, you see. It's like having one foot in one world and one foot in another world. You finally have to accept that this is a vibrational universe and you have access to much bigger energy than you have been applying. And we don't want to hurt your feelings, but what you've been doing, all of you have been doing with your action is a puny, mediocre comparison to what you have available to you, you see.
Certainly.
And so when we hear the power of your desire, when we hear the determination that you feel, when we acknowledge what you've put into your vortex, and we understand the ease with which you can accomplish all of that, we stand in eager anticipation of these breakthrough moments that are happening to you. And we suffer not with you for a moment in the pre-breakthrough moments, because we know for sure that you can't have a desire like the desire that you have focused without having the breakthrough moment. And the breakthrough moment, we want to put a good definition on breakthrough, because we don't mean breakthrough in that sense. We mean let go, the let go of the resistance moment. You can't get to where you want to be following the path that you've been following, because there's not enough action in the world for you to maintain the dreams that you've put into your vortex. So it's like we say to Esther on a pretty regular basis, and some other rather amazing creators around the planet that we've been in conversation with. What does someone like you do to parlay your dreams into greater heights? Since the whole joy of life is to want something beyond where you are, what's it going to take to get you there, you see? And when you bless the exposure to the contrast that causes you to want that, and then you let go of the blame or the discord, it's a really good ride.
And I think that, and not to, monopolize the time, I just want to check something
Too
out
late.
with you. Yeah, but apparently it's been entertaining.
And beneficial.
There is something that I've been doing, and it's saying, it's kind of like a little mantra to myself, that, whenever I would find myself in the throes of a negative emotion, that I would be reacting to something with a negative emotion, in kind of an acknowledgement that I've created that also.
Yeah.
Knowing that I create all this stuff, I would tell myself that I am in perfect vibrational congruence with source in my vortex of creation. And sometimes that would come out vortex of attraction. And I guess what I want to know from you is that doing any good in the appreciation of all of it that I'm creating to
Overall, yes. In that moment, not really. Because just saying words that defy what you're feeling in the moment only makes for a more stuck place and more tension in the moment. It's really about stepping back into that more general place. And that's why we began, when we started to do that with you, we said, do you believe in law of attraction? Have you had enough life experience that you believe that law of attraction is responding to you? Have you had enough experiences where you were high flying and watching the results, and not so high flying and watching the results, that you get that whatever you're broadcasting is what you're bringing back? Have you shown that to yourself? And once you begin acknowledging that how you feel equals your point of attraction, you see, what throws people about that is that sometimes something will happen in a moment and they'll say, I wasn't thinking about that specifically. And we say, but there was a vibration about that going on within you, whether it was that specific subject or not, because the law of attraction is never, ever off. What comes is always right on target with what you've got going on vibrationally. But the biggest thing that we want to say to you, because this conversation sounds like, well, then you need to do different things to get the different results. And that's not our message to you either. Our message to you is bless this contrast, for it is parlaying you into places that you really want to be. And that if you can accept that and relax in a blame-free attitude, in a I don't really know what's going on, but I'm willing to take this ride attitude. And I do have control of my thoughts, and I do have control of my emotions, because I have the ability to get in my car and drive down the freeway and notice the ocean. I have the ability to look through my album of memories and find those that are the sweetest and focus upon them. I have the ability to selectively sift, or I have the ability to focus on purpose, or I have the ability to meditate and quiet my mind. I have the ability to focus upon positive aspects. I have the ability to direct my thoughts, and I don't always do it, but I have the ability to do it. And I bless this world that has parlayed me into this stronger desire. And I accept that I'm standing in a more momentum place than I've ever been in my life. And I want to go with the flow of my momentum and not buck my own current anymore. And I know that the laws of the universe are consistent. And I know that I have the ability to bring myself into alignment with them. And I know that my emotions are valid. And I like feeling the emotions that I feel. And I like knowing that law of attraction is responding to me. And I like thinking about what's in my vortex. And I like the idea that I'm an eternal player in this game. And I am interested in knowing where this will go. And I'm excited about the next that is coming, and the next and the next. But I'm also pleased with where I stand. I can feel the power of this moment. I'm not lifeless. I'm energized. I can feel the power of this moment. I'm not discouraged. I'm determined. I can feel the power of this moment because I can feel the momentum of this energy. And sure, sometimes I get crosswise of my own energy and I get flung off into the bushes, and I don't like that very much. But I can always pick myself up and dust myself off and get back there eventually, and again begin riding the ride of that energy. And we promise you, there's no regression. You can't go back. One day, a man was lamenting to us that he had lost his empire, and he had a big empire that he had lost. And he was telling us how old he was and how much time he had spent, and it felt to him that all was really lost because he could not imagine doing the things that he had done through the years in order to get himself into that place. He felt that he was finished. And we said to him, you're talking about all of those things as if they mean anything, as if they are the representation of what you have amassed. What you have amassed is who you are. What you've amassed is the desire that is within you. What you've amassed is your ability to focus. You stand in the place now that you can ask for anything, and in an attitude of allowing, it will come. So all that you have lived has led you to this place of stronger wanting. And what you're getting from us here now, which is what you're asking for, will put you in the place of allowing that strong wanting. And the stuff that you're using to measure your progress, it doesn't mean anything. And we're not trying to talk you out of houses. We want the biggest and the best. We want everything that you want to come to you. We're not trying to talk you out of manifestations. We just want them to be further down on your list of priorities. We just want you to understand that is who you are. You are the product of your own creation, you see. It's not the stuff that you amass around you. You are the product of your own creation. And how you feel is how that creation is doing right here.